Well, here we go. One step deeper into subtracting fractions. Here we're doing mixed numbers, mixed fractions, subtracting them. Well, just very much like we did with mixed numbers for adding. Let's ignore the whole numbers temporarily. Act like they don't exist. The 4 and the 1, they don't exist. Let's just do 2/3 minus 1/3. So if all we're doing is 2/3 minus 1/3, we have a common denominator, we're good to go. So we just take 2 minus 1, which of course is 1. Keep the same denominator. Now, we're not done yet, of course. Realize that step is merely dealing with the fraction part. Let's now pick up the whole numbers. We can't reduce it. Everything's fine. Once we've finally finished dealing with the fraction portion, now pick up the whole number. Now let's do 4 minus 1, which of course is 3. There we go. 3 and 1/3 is the answer. But the pattern is you deal with the fraction part first, then you pick up the whole numbers later. Here, ignoring the whole numbers, the 6 and the 2 do not exist temporarily. Let's just do 1/2 minus 1/4. Oh, but there's not a common denominator. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We're going to enlarge one or the other or both. So, can we enlarge the smaller denominator and make it into the larger? Sure. We can enlarge a 2 to make them into a 4. So this one we can leave it alone. I just like to rewrite them just to keep track of them, keep them lined up. It doesn't matter. But now we got to convert 1/2 into something with the same denominator. So what do you do to the 2 to make him into the number 4? Why, multiply by 2. The top, I do the same thing. Multiply him or her by 2, that becomes 2. So now, ignoring the whole numbers, we have 2/4 minus 1/4. Well, 2 minus 1 is 1. So that is 1/4. That's the fraction part. Can we reduce? No. As far as it'll go. So we're good on the fraction. Now let's go back and pick up the whole numbers. 6 minus 2 is 4. There we have it. 4 and 1/4. What about this one? We're going to ignore the whole numbers. We're going to merely do 3/4 minus 1/3. Well, can I enlarge my smaller denominator 3 and convert that into the 4? No, I can't, so I must enlarge both. So we have to enlarge both the 4 and the 3 and make them have a common denominator. Well, if you multiply the two together, 12 will be the common denominator. I'll have to multiply 4 times 3 to make them into a 12. So the top number, 3 times 3, that becomes 9. So 3/4 becomes 9/12. I must multiply the 3 times 4 to make that into a 12. So the top number times 4 also becomes 4. So that's a 4, by the way. Now it's 9/12 minus 4/12. 9 minus 4 is 5. Can that be reduced? Nope, looks good to me. So once we've finally dealt with the fraction portion of our fraction, now let's pick up the whole number portion of our fraction. Now we're doing 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. Final answer. 4 and 5/12. Now we have one more step to get into with the subtracting fractions when they're mixed numbers, and this is the hardest. I mean, again, prepare for difficult stuff. So let's now go into our next lecture over one step deeper into this and have fun, yeah.